to talk about the Patriots because ESPN's Bill Barnwell released his top 5 list of NFL teams most likely to decline this season. And the Patriots make this list along with the Broncos, Bears, Jaguars, and Panthers. Bill predicts 5 of the 8 division winners from last year will take a step back, including the 2 teams that played for the AFC Championship last year, the Patriots and the Broncos. That's a big take, Doggy. What do you think?
I think the Broncos. Go look at that schedule. I know, I'm big on schedules.
We know. We know.
Here we go. You know that. I was
breaking this man the schedule.
I was breaking Lewis's flight to Tuscaloosa.
There it is. There's your schedule.
Look at the beginning of this. At Kansas City, it's a Monday night game that we have. Jaguars, all right, early in the year. Then the Rams, at the 49ers, at the Chargers, the Seahawks. I mean, oh my God, those first 6 games are brutal. Now listen, they get the Jets. I understand that. They get Miami, but then later on, they also get, they get Buffalo, and then look at the finish to the season: Bills at Patriots, Chargers. That is very, very difficult. They play the NFC West, so that means they get Rams, Seahawks in San Francisco. They play the Bills. They play the Patriots, and that division, even the Raiders are going to be a little better. I think they're going to come down from 14 simply because of that.
So I think heading into the AFC Championship, the Broncos ranked 3rd in scoring defense, and yet people are still down on them, particularly, I don't know if it's because of Bo Nix. I'm curious, what do you think, Kevin?
It's a Bo Nix narrative, and I don't think it's necessarily fair. First of all, Bo Nix is a very dependable quarterback, and here's the stat. They had a 10-game winning streak last year in which Bo Nix had a quarterback rating in those games of 87. That is the worst mark by a quarterback in the midst of a 10-game winning streak since Kerry Collins in 2008 with the Titans. So what that means to me, even though I think Bo Nix is maybe better than the national narrative, what that means to me is they can do it whether or not Bo Nix is playing well or not. They have the Jalen Waddle is going to be a plus addition. They've got the best offensive line in football. They've got one of the best defenses in football. This entire thing is built around not having to have an elite quarterback and Bo Nix not being an elite quarterback. That part is fine. I think that when you mention their schedule, those teams have to play the Broncos. Those teams are worried about the Broncos, okay? The Chiefs are worried about the Broncos in week 1. So I don't look at the schedule as a huge hindrance. I don't think they're going to win 14 games again, but they're definitely going to compete for a Super Bowl.
Look, I think this is a better football team than they were a year ago.
Yeah.
They're a better football team. I don't believe in regression for the sake of regression simply because the law of averages catches up to a football team. I hate that argument. I don't like that argument. The NFL is a personnel-driven league. It is about players. It's about talent. And it's about coaches who can take that talent and have it play 11-on-11 football. Look, when you're talking about Bo Nix, would you like for him statistically to be up there with the Josh Allens and Jordan Loves? Well, of course, because that's easy then, right? Then you can say, well, of course the Broncos are going to be there in the very end. But see, as soon as quarterback play starts to become middle of the pack, people don't want to kind of look at the other positions on this roster. And you tell me where the glaring weaknesses are for the Denver Broncos. You tell me where they haven't improved. If there's anything right now, look, if there's something you want to point to, let's point to this. How is Davis Webb going to really, adjust to being the primary play caller? And what is Sean Payton's influence going to be on Davis Webb now being the primary play caller? Are they going to commit to the running game, which is something that Sean says he wants to do a little bit more? And if they do, look, I'll tell you what. The combination of R.J. Harvey and Jonah Coleman, look out now. That'll be as good as any in the NFL. That is a great 1-2 punch right there. Wide receivers, offensive line, you already talked about, one of the best in the NFL. Defense is going to hold it down. They're going to do what they need to do. They will be as good as they were a year ago. I just don't see it. And when we talk about teams like the Patriots, naturally people think that they're going to regress as well because they took, advantage of an easy schedule last year. They got the Broncos, ironically, without Bo Nix, and then that's how they got to the Super Bowl. The Patriots are a much better football team in 2026 than they were in 2025. They are much better. The offensive line is stronger. The wide receiver core is better. The number one question that they have is on the defensive side of the football, can they rush the passer on the perimeter? Have they upgraded that? Is Gabe Akers going to be that guy, the draft pick from Illinois? Is Draymond Jones going to come through? They've got the defensive tackles. They got the linebackers. They got a hell of a secondary. They're a better football team.
Kevin, are they a better football team? What's your follow-up?
They are, and I think that's the signal. The Jalen Waddle trade to me, Lewis, was Sean Payton saying, The AFC is wide open because we don't know about the Chiefs right now. The Chargers are still the Chargers, right? We have to figure that out. The Bills and the Ravens are in flux with new coaching staffs. There's so many questions. The Bengals still have to prove it on the field. There's so many questions that going all in on a deep threat like that with Jalen Waddle, this is the year to go all in. You mentioned the fact that Sean Payton, for the first time in his career, is not the primary play caller. That's intriguing to me, but he's in the building. He'll still be putting together these game plans. I'm not worried about very much in Denver.
Yeah, Super Bowl hangover for New England. And you lose that Super Bowl, Chiefs, San Francisco, Eagles. Sometimes that next year it's a little fun.
Nope.
Off has reached 2 weeks. Let's make some opening statements. Dog is looking forward to the solid Super Bowl. Lewis, what is your opening statement?
Look, we love Caleb Downs, right? He's probably one of the most important drafted players in this year's draft. Jayson Barham, he's right up there. This guy could change the fortunes along with Caleb Downs for this Dallas Cowboys football team in 2026. He is an absolute downhill hammer. He could be the best off-ball linebacker since Sean Lee back in 2016. That's a huge statement, but this guy has that kind of impact.
That is enormous. How about Kevin? Give me one from you.
Breaking news from Adam Schefter. Ruben Bain has an AC sprain. He's going to be fine for week 1. Breaking news from Kevin Clark. Ruben Bain's going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
There you go. Where did he go to school?
University of Miami, that's okay. Lewis Riddick's a Miami homer, too, after the Mensa things there, so we're aligned over here.
No question.
Bain is an animal, and for week 1, he's going to show everybody short arms don't matter.
People love him. Mike T, give me an opening statement.
Jordan Love is set for a daily double, MVP candidate, and the Green Bay Packers win the NFC North. Every year he started, they've gone to the playoffs. They're going to get back a great pass rusher in Micah Parsons at some point. They extended Christian Watson, Matthew Golden. They're going to have a great 1-2 punch. Look out for the Packers this year.
I made this statement yesterday. I don't know what to expect in that division. There's nothing you could tell me is going to happen in that division that I would tell you you're insane.
I could not agree more. It is a true toss-up. You can make a case for any one of the 4 winning this division. I think, listen, Green Bay has a great quarterback who's an MVP candidate. Jared Goff, you can speak to this very well. They love him there, and many defensive coordinators think he's one of the best in the National Football. Caleb Williams, look, there's nothing really much more to say about it. Minnesota's the wild card for me. If Kyler Murray is 2024 Kyler Murray, and that's what Kevin O'Connell believes he can be, they have the firepower on the perimeter, they have the offensive line, they have the running backs, and they have their own mastermind on defense in Brian Flores, who can wreck things for your quarterback as quick as anyone. It's a 4-team race. All 4 of them are in it.
Who do you like in that? You've made some interesting takes.
I like the Lions. I like the Lions here. I just look at the roster talent. I see so many blue chip guys. I mean, if this were college football, college basketball, this is a 4-bid league. Yeah. That's just not the way this goes. Somebody's going to finish in last place that would win other divisions.
Kevin,
no doubt.
As Lou mentioned earlier about injuries being the great equalizer, in the past 45 days, they've lost a starting corner in Terry and Arnold, and they have 2 safeties in Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph that there's a lot of question marks. So I want to like Detroit, but I just think Green Bay is the more complete team.
We made these picks this morning without conferring with each other, and they told me in my ear, you're all going to go on different. This might be the first time in the history of the show that we've had a graphic that had all 4 potential options on it, and I think that gives you some indication because really I wouldn't be surprised. I have no idea what to expect from Kyler Murray. The Green Bay defense, until Micah comes back, we'll see, and Jordan Love has been just a little too inconsistent for me to fully buy in. I agree. Is this the year that he puts it all together? The Lions always just seem to get hurt on defense, and the Bears have injury concerns, and their defense it does not look good. So I could see almost anything winding up happening there when it comes right down to it. But I'm fascinated by your pick of the Vikings because if Kyler Murray really gets it together, that does strike me as the most interesting scenario.
He has some great tape from 2024, executing the same principles that Kevin O'Connell wants to employ in this offense in its 2026 iteration. If they can get that out of him, and this offensive line stays healthy, again, the great equalizer, right? Availability. This team is dangerous. This team is dangerous. Remember the name Dallas Turner. He's got to have a big season. He's got to have a huge season, and Brian will set him up to have a huge season. It's a great division to watch, unless you're an absolute fan of one of these teams, because you just don't know what you're going to get every week. Every game will be, when you're talking about conference play, is going to be a barn burner.
I'll tell you, the great intangible here is he's on a 1-year deal, and his athletic mortality for the first time, first rounder in baseball, obviously great high school, college football player. He's one of the more intriguing players in the whole NFL for this season because he has so much at stake.
I think with the Lions, it's just a matter of Jared Goff being one of the best downfield passers in football. He raises them. I think everybody thinks everything has to be perfect for Jared Goff to be good. No, he raises them, everybody around them. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams. The offensive line is going to be better than it was last year. I just love this team, and I'm tired of people saying that they're a victim of circumstance and like that. They're going to raise and elevate themselves.
If the MVP discussion is truly opened beyond the quarterback play, Jahmyr Gibbs will be at the very top.
Yeah. Greedy,
He'll be at the very top of the list.
The trade that has to happen that makes too much sense is Max Crosby to the Lions. They're in a win-now mode. Vegas is rebuilding. Like, to me, that's the trade that makes sense for both sides.
All right, we'll see. Again, that division about as wide open as it can possibly be. Jahmyr Gibbs, you mentioned.